The letter trembled in my hands as I stood in the crowded auditorium. Around me, other scholarship finalists clutched similar envelopes, but I barely noticed them. This was my moment, my escape route, my chance to prove everyone wrong. My name is Shanice, and I'd spent the last 4 years working towards this scholarship, while my family told me I was wasting my time. The envelope felt heavy with possibility, weighted with dreams of business school and a future far beyond the cramped apartment where I'd grown up. "Just open it already," my sister Sabrina whispered, her manicured nails digging into my arm. She'd only come because Mom insisted someone from the family should be there. Some of us have actual jobs to get back to. I tore open the envelope, my heart pounding so hard I could barely breathe. The first word I saw was regret. Everything after that blurred together. "Well?" Sabrina leaned over my shoulder. "Oh, wow. I guess Mom was right after all." The drive home was silent, except for Sabrina's occasional sighs and the tap-tap-tap of her texting. I knew exactly what she was doing, spreading the news of my failure to the family group chat. By the time we pulled up to our parents' house, everyone would know. Mom was waiting at the door, arms crossed. "So the dreamer finally wakes up," she said as I walked past her. "Maybe now you'll listen to your father and take that receptionist position at his friend's office." I kept walking, heading straight for the kitchen where I could hear Dad and my brother Tyson talking. "There she is," Dad's voice boomed. "Our little scholar." He laughed, and Tyson joined in. "Come on, princess. Tell us all about how you were going to be the next big CEO. I can still," I started, but Mom cut me off. "Still what? Waste more time? Look at your sister. She got a real job right after high school, and now she's got a house, a car, a husband. What do you have? Dreams? And student loans?" Tyson added helpfully, reaching for another slice of pizza. I gripped the counter, my knuckles turning white. The scholarship wasn't everything. I have other plans. "Other plans?" Dad scoffed. "Like what? More schemes? More pipe dreams? When are you going to grow up and accept that people like us don't become business tycoons?" "People like us?" The words came out sharp, dangerous. "Regular people," Mom said, as if explaining something to a child. "Working people. Not everyone gets to be special, Shanice. The sooner you accept that, the better." Sabrina patted my shoulder with fake sympathy. "Hey, at least you tried. That's more than most dreamers do. They just talk about it." I looked around at their faces. Mom's dismissive frown, Dad's patronizing smile, Tyson's bored expression, Sabrina's smug superiority. Something inside me snapped. "You're right," I said quietly. "I did try, and I'll keep trying." "Oh, here we go again," Mom threw up her hands. "No, you don't understand." I straightened up, meeting each of their eyes in turn. "I'm done trying to make you believe in me. I'm done asking for your support. From now on, I'm doing this my way." "Doing what?" Dad demanded. "Everything." I grabbed my bag and headed for the door. "You want me to wake up from my dreams? Fine. I'm wide awake now." "Where are you going?" Mom called after me. "To make some plans," I said, not looking back. "Real ones." As I walked to my car, I could hear them laughing through the open window. The sound followed me down the driveway, echoing in my ears as I pulled away from the curb. My phone buzzed with messages from the family group chat, but I didn't need to read them to know what they said. Let them laugh, let them mock, let them think they've won. I pulled over a few blocks away and took out my phone, but instead of checking the group chat, I opened my contacts and called the one person who might actually understand. "Hey, guy, it's Shanice. Remember that business idea we talked about last month?" "Yeah, the online one. I think it's time. Can you meet tomorrow?" As I hung up, I caught my reflection in the rearview mirror. My eyes were dry now, and there was something else there, something hard and bright and dangerous. They wanted me to wake up from my dreams? Fine. But they'd forgotten one crucial thing about waking up. That's when you start making things happen. Guy's coffee shop choice was as practical as he was. Quiet enough for conversation, but busy enough that no one would pay attention to us hunched over my laptop. He studied my business plan with the same intensity he brought to everything, occasionally pushing his glasses up his nose. "An online marketplace for custom corporate gift boxes?" He looked up at me. "That's actually brilliant. Most existing services are either too cheap and tacky or ridiculously expensive. I nodded, scrolling through my mock-ups. Exactly. Mid-range companies want to impress their clients and reward their employees, but they can't spend Fortune 500 money. That's our sweet spot. And you've already got supplier contacts? 3 so far. I pulled up my spreadsheet. Small artisanal producers who want to scale up but can't afford traditional distribution. They're willing to give us exclusive deals. Guy leaned back, crossing his arms. Okay, hit me with the bad news. What's the startup cost? I took a deep breath. 20,000. Jesus, Shanice. I know, but I've got 5,000 saved and the rest? He raised an eyebrow. Please don't say family loan. I laughed bitterly. Yeah, right. No, I'm selling my car. It should cover another 8,000. For the rest? I hesitated. I was hoping you might want to be my business partner. Guy went quiet, stirring his coffee. The silence stretched until I couldn't take it anymore. Look, I know it's a risk, but I'm in. What? He grinned. I said I'm in, but we're doing this properly. No cutting corners on the website or the packaging. If we're targeting corporate clients, everything needs to look premium. My hands were shaking as I opened my notes app. I've got some ideas for that too. For the next 3 hours, we planned. Guy's experience in digital marketing filled the gaps in my business knowledge, and my product ideas made him increasingly excited. By the time we finished, the coffee shop was nearly empty. One last thing, Guy said as we packed up. What are you telling your family? Nothing. I zipped my laptop bag with more force than necessary. They don't get to know until we succeed. And if we fail, then they never need to know at all. The next few weeks were a blur of late nights and early mornings. I kept my day job at the department store, but every free moment went into the business. Guy handled the website development while I coordinated with suppliers and designed our first collection of gift boxes. You look tired, Athena said one evening when I met her for our weekly coffee. Are you sleeping at all? Sleep is for people who don't have dreams to chase, I replied, then immediately yawned. Uh-huh. She wasn't convinced. And this has nothing to do with whatever secret project you're working on? Before I could answer, my phone buzzed. It was an email notification, then another, and another. Shanice, you okay? You've gone pale. My hands were trembling as I opened the first email. It was from a mid-sized tech company in Seattle. They wanted 50 executive gift boxes for their quarterly board meeting. The second email was from a real estate firm requesting a custom collection for their top clients. The third? Holy shit, I whispered. What? What is it? I turned the phone to show her. Remember that marketing email blast Guy sent out this morning? These are responses, real orders, big ones. Athena grabbed my phone, scrolling through the emails. Shanice, these orders alone would bring in over $30,000. I couldn't stop grinning, and that's just from the first hour after the email went out. My phone buzzed again. This time it was Guy. Are you seeing this? He demanded when I answered. The orders? The inquiries? Shanice, this is insane. I'm seeing it. I was laughing now, drawing curious looks from nearby tables. Guy, we're going to need more suppliers and storage space and you're going to need to quit your day job, he finished. This is it, Shanice. This is really happening. As I hung up, Athena was watching me with a mixture of pride and concern. You're really not going to tell your family, are you? Not yet. I took my phone back, already composing emails to our suppliers. Let them think I'm still just a dreamer working retail. Let them keep underestimating me. And then? I looked up, meeting her eyes. And then we'll see who's laughing when I build this into an empire. My phone buzzed again. Another order, then another. Each notification felt like a small victory, a step closer to proving everyone wrong. The game was on, and I was playing to win. You quit your job? Mom's voice reached that special pitch she reserved for my biggest disappointments. Have you completely lost your mind? Sunday family dinner had become a monthly torture session, but I hadn't expected this ambush. Sabrina must have seen me leaving the department store for the last time. I have another opportunity, I said, pushing my food around the plate. Another opportunity? Dad scoffed. Like that scholarship opportunity? Tyson snickered from across the table. Maybe she's finally starting that Fortune 500 company she's always talking about. If they only knew. Our business had cleared 6 figures in its 3rd month, and the orders kept coming. We'd just leased a small warehouse space, and Guy had hired our first 2 employees. Actually, I started, but Mom cut me off. No more schemes, Shanice. You're 27 years old. It's time to be realistic. Like Sabrina, Dad added, beaming at my sister. Did you hear she's up for promotion at the bank? Sabrina preened. Assistant branch manager. And Derek and I are thinking about buying a bigger house. Now that's what I call success, Mom said pointedly. Real success, not fantasy. My phone vibrated in my pocket. Probably another order notification. We'd landed 3 major corporate clients just this week. I took a deep breath. I have something in the works, I said carefully. Something promising. Oh? Sabrina's tone dripped with condescension. Do tell. Before I could respond, Dad's phone rang. His face darkened as he answered it. What do you mean denied? He barked into the phone. I've been banking there for 30 years. The table went quiet. Mom's fork clattered against her plate. This is ridiculous, Dad continued. I'll come down there tomorrow and no, you listen to me. He pulled the phone away from his ear, staring at it. They hung up on me. What's wrong? Mom asked. The loan. Dad's face was red now. The one for the house repairs. They denied it. Sabrina reached for her water glass. But you said it was guaranteed. It was supposed to be. Dad loosened his tie. With my history there, I don't understand. I did. The housing market was tightening, and banks were getting stricter with loans. I'd been researching financial trends for our business plan. Maybe I could help, I offered. I know someone who... Help? Mom laughed sharply. With what? Your mysterious new opportunity? Actually, yes, I've been... Enough! Dad slammed his hand on the table, making the dishes rattle. I don't want to hear about your latest fantasy. This is serious, Shanice. Real life. Something you clearly know nothing about. My phone buzzed again. And again. The group chat was probably exploding with reactions to my job news. Speaking of real life, Sabrina said, I know an opening at the bank. Entry level, but it's something. I could put in a word. That's perfect. Mom clasped her hands together. See, Shanice? Your sister's looking out for you. I stood up so quickly my chair scraped against the floor. I have to go. Running away again? Tyson called after me. What's new? I paused at the door, turning back. You know what? You're right. This is about real life. And real life is about to get very interesting. Outside, I checked my phone. 3 new orders, including one from a major tech company, and a message from Prince, our newest business contact. Just signed the contract for nationwide distribution. Dinner to celebrate? I smiled, typing back a quick response. Prince had been instrumental in expanding our reach, and lately, our business dinners had started feeling less like business and more like something else. My phone rang. Guy. Where are you? He asked without preamble. We just got an email from that venture capital firm. The one that wanted to invest? They've doubled their offer. Shanice, they're talking 8 figures. I leaned against my car, letting the news sink in. 8 figures? Yeah, but they want to meet tomorrow. Tomorrow? I glanced back at the house, where I could see my family still gathered around the dinner table, probably discussing my latest failure. Perfect. Let's show them exactly what we've built. You're still not going to tell your family, are you? I watched through the window as Dad made another angry phone call, probably to the bank. Mom was shaking her head. Sabrina was probably already drafting my letter of recommendation for that entry-level position. Not yet, I said, but soon, very soon. As I drove away, I couldn't help but smile. They wanted real life? Real success? Well, they were about to get a masterclass in both. And this time, I wouldn't be the one learning the lesson. The venture capital meeting tomorrow would change everything, and my family had no idea what was coming. $10 million? Athena nearly choked on her wine. They're offering $10 million for a minority stake? I nodded, still dazed from the meeting. We were sitting in my new apartment, a far cry from the cramped studio I'd lived in 3 months ago. The view of the city skyline still felt surreal. Guy almost fell out of his chair when they made the offer, I said. Prince had to kick him under the table to keep him composed. Speaking of Prince, Athena wiggled her eyebrows. How many business dinners have you two had this week? It's not like that, but I could feel my face getting hot. He's just been helping with the expansion plans. Uh-huh. And those plans require candlelit dinners and weekend brunches? My phone buzzed. Speak of the devil. Still on for tomorrow? Prince's text read, "Found a great little place downtown, very private." Athena leaned over my shoulder. "Oh yeah, totally just business. Can we focus on the actual news?" I put my phone face down. This investment changes everything. We can scale nationally, maybe even internationally. And your family still has no idea? I walked to the window, looking out at the city lights. They think I'm probably unemployed and living off savings. Mom called yesterday to remind me about that bank job Sabrina mentioned. Shanice? Athena's voice softened. You're worth millions now. You've built something incredible. Don't you think it's time? Not yet. I turned back to her. The timing has to be perfect. Perfect for what? Revenge? Before I could answer, my phone rang. Guy's name flashed on the screen. Turn on channel 7, he said when I answered. Now. I grabbed the remote, flipping to the news. My heart stopped. Be one of the fastest growing startups in the region, the anchor was saying. Sources say the company, which specializes in corporate gifting solutions, has just secured major venture capital funding. They weren't supposed to announce this until next week, I breathed. That's not all, Guy said. Keep watching. The screen showed our warehouse, then cut to my face. It was from the investor meeting, walking into the building with Guy and Prince. Led by young entrepreneur Shanice Rodriguez. Oh shit, Athena whispered. My phone exploded with notifications. The family group chat went crazy. Missed calls from Mom, Dad, Sabrina. Even Tyson was texting. What do you want to do? Guy asked. I stared at the TV, where they were now showing graphics of our company's growth, our projected valuation, my name, over and over. Shanice? Athena touched my arm. Are you okay? I'm fine. And surprisingly, I was. Actually, I'm better than fine. Guy, call Prince. Tell him to move up the press conference to tomorrow. If we're doing this, we're doing it my way. After hanging up, I finally checked the family messages. Mom. What is this? Call me right now. Dad. Is this some kind of joke? Sabrina. OMG, is this why you quit the store? Tyson. Holy shit, sis. What are you going to tell them? Athena asked. Nothing, I smiled, putting my phone on silent. Let them sweat it out tonight. Tomorrow they can watch the press conference like everyone else. That's cold, but Athena was grinning. I love it. My phone lit up again. Prince calling this time. I just heard, he said when I answered. Are you all right? Better than all right. Can you move up our dinner plans to tonight? We need to prep for tomorrow. Already made the reservation. I'll pick you up in an hour. After he hung up, Athena was giving me that look again. Just business, huh? Shut up. But I was smiling. Help me pick something to wear? An hour later, as Prince's car pulled up, Athena hugged me goodbye. Show them who you really are, she whispered. Make them regret every doubt, every dismissal, every time they made you feel small. Through the car window, I watched her wave goodbye. Prince looked over at me. Ready for tomorrow? I thought about the press conference, about my family watching from home, finally seeing what I'd built while they were busy mocking my dreams, about the look on their faces when they realized just how wrong they'd been. More than ready, I said. But first, tell me about this private little place you found. As we drove through the city, my phone kept lighting up with messages I wouldn't read. Tomorrow, everything would change. Tomorrow, I'd show them all exactly who Shanice Rodriguez had become. But tonight, Tonight was for celebrating with someone who'd believed in me from the start. The press conference was barely over when Sabrina showed up at my office unannounced. Her designer handbag couldn't hide the desperation in her eyes. "Nice building," she said, looking around the modern space. "Very impressive." "Thanks." I kept my voice neutral. "How did you find me?" "Google." She laughed nervously. "You're kind of all over the internet right now." I stayed behind my desk, letting the silence stretch. Finally, she cracked. "Look, I know we haven't been supportive, but you have to understand how this looks from our side. One minute you're working retail, the next you're some millionaire CEO. Funny how dreams work out sometimes," I said coolly. "What do you want, Sabrina?" She sank into one of the visitor chairs. "It's Dad. The bank thing. It's worse than we thought. They're foreclosing on the house." The news hit harder than I expected. That house held 27 years of memories, good and bad. "How much does he owe?" 200,000. Sabrina wouldn't meet my eyes. "And there's more. His business is struggling. Mom's medical bills from last year. They're drowning, Shanice." My intercom buzzed. "Ms. Rodriguez? Mr. Davidson is here for your lunch meeting." "Send him in," I replied, watching Sabrina's eyes widen at my formal title. Prince walked in, looking sharp in his business suit. He stopped short when he saw Sabrina. "Sorry, I didn't realize you were in a meeting." "Just my sister," I said. "Sabrina, this is Prince Davidson, our head of strategic partnerships." "And occasional dinner companion," Prince added with a smile that made me blush. Sabrina looked between us, processing. "Right. Well, I should go. But Shanice, about what I said, I'll think about it." After she left, Prince turned to me. "Everything okay?" "Family drama." I grabbed my coat. "Let's get lunch. I need to process some things." At our usual restaurant over plates of pasta, I told him everything. "So what are you going to do?" he asked. "I don't know." I pushed my food around. Part of me wants to let them figure it out themselves. Let them feel what it's like to struggle while everyone tells you to be realistic about your problems. But they're still my family, I sighed, even if they suck at being one. My phone buzzed. Guy calling. "Turn on CNBC, he said without preamble. Prince pulled out his tablet, finding the channel. A familiar face filled the screen, Dad's biggest business competitor, announcing a merger that would effectively destroy what was left of Dad's company. "That's not all," Guy continued. "Your sister's bank? They're downsizing. Sabrina's department is first on the chopping block." I ended the call, staring at the tablet. "The universe has a sick sense of humor. Or perfect timing," Prince said quietly, "depending on how you look at it." Before I could respond, my phone lit up with texts. "Mom, please call. It's an emergency." Tyson. "Yo, sis, you might want to come home. It's bad." Sabrina. "Dad's not doing well. Please." "I have to go," I said, standing up. Prince caught my hand. "Want me to come with you?" I squeezed his hand, grateful. "No, this is something I need to do alone." The house looked smaller than I remembered. Through the window, I could see them all gathered in the living room. Mom crying, Dad with his head in his hands, Sabrina pacing, Tyson looking lost. I took a deep breath and knocked. The room went silent when I walked in. Dad looked like he'd aged 10 years since I'd last seen him. "Shanice," Mom started, but I held up a hand. "Before anyone says anything, I want to be clear. I know everything. The foreclosure, the business problems, Sabrina's job situation, all of it." "Then you know we need help," Dad said quietly. "Your help." "My help?" I laughed. "The dreamer's help? The one who needed to face reality?" "We were wrong," Mom whispered. "So wrong." "Yes, you were." I pulled out my phone, pulling up my banking app. "And now you need the daughter you never believed in to save you." "Shanice, please," Sabrina began. "Please what? Forget how you all treated me? Forget the mockery, the dismissal, the constant reminders that I needed to wake up?" Dad stood up. "We're still your family." "Are we?" I looked at each of them. "Because family believes in each other, supports each other. You never did that for me." My phone buzzed. A message from Prince. "Remember, whatever you decide, Make sure you can live with it. I looked at my family, broken, desperate, finally seeing me for who I was. The power felt intoxicating and terrifying. So, I said, my finger hovering over the banking app, let's talk about what happens next. You want us to what? Sabrina's voice cracked with disbelief. I sat calmly at our old kitchen table, documents spread out before me. If you want my help, these are my terms. Each of you will work for my company for 1 year. Entry-level positions, no special treatment. Work for you? Dad looked like he'd swallowed something sour. That's ridiculous, Mom protested. Your father has 30 years of business experience. And look where that got him. The words came out sharper than I intended. Besides, you're the ones who always said I needed to learn about real work. Now it's your turn. Tyson leaned forward. What kind of jobs are we talking about? Dad, you'll work in the warehouse? Mom, customer service? Sabrina, you'll handle basic order processing? Tyson, shipping and receiving. Manual labor? Dad stood up, face reddening. I'm not some what, Dad? Some dreamer? Some failure? I met his gaze steadily. Sit down. To everyone's surprise, including mine, he sat. In return, I continued, I'll pay off the house, clear all your debts, set up emergency funds for each of you, but you work the full year or the deal's off. And if we refuse? Sabrina asked. I gathered the papers. Then you're on your own. I hear the bank's very efficient with foreclosures these days. Mom started crying again. How did you become so cold? Cold? I laughed. I learned from the best. Remember when I lost that scholarship? When I needed support the most? What did you all do? The silence was deafening. My phone buzzed. Prince again. Still on for dinner? You shouldn't be alone tonight. I need your answers now, I said, standing up. The contracts are ready. Sign today, start work Monday. Monday? Tyson yelped. That's in 2 days. Welcome to the real world, little brother. Dad picked up one of the contracts, reading through it. This is actually very thorough. Of course it is. I'm a businesswoman, remember? Oh wait, none of you knew that until yesterday. Sabrina grabbed a pen. I'll do it. Sabrina, Mom gasped. What choice do we have? She signed with a flourish. Besides, I want to see what little sister's been up to all this time. One by one, they signed. Dad was last, his hand trembling slightly. Just one question, he said. Why make us work? Why not just help us? Because you need to understand. I collected the signed contracts. Not just about business, but about respect, about believing in people, about family. As I drove to meet Prince, my phone rang. It was Athena. Guy told me what you did. Are you sure about this? They need to learn, I said, pulling into the restaurant parking lot. And I need to know if they can. And if they can't, then at least I tried, more than they ever did for me. Prince was waiting outside the restaurant. One look at my face, and he pulled me into a hug. Rough day? You could say that. I buried my face in his shoulder. I just hired my entire family. He pulled back, studying my face. You know, most people's revenge doesn't involve giving their enemies jobs. This isn't just revenge. I let him lead me inside. It's redemption, theirs and mine. Over dinner, I told him everything. The contracts, the conditions, their reactions. You're either brilliant or crazy, he said finally. Maybe both. Probably both. I smiled for the first time that day. Monday's going to be interesting. Want me there? No, this is something I need to handle myself. I reached for his hand across the table. But after I'm taking you away for the weekend. No family, no business, just us. My phone buzzed with a group text from my family. Tyson. What should we wear Monday? Sabrina. Business casual, obviously. Mom. Is there a dress code? Dad. Do we get lunch breaks? Prince read the messages over my shoulder and laughed. They have no idea what they're in for, do they? No, I said, turning off my phone. But they're about to find out exactly what their dreamer daughter can do. And what about you? He asked softly. What are you hoping to find out? I thought about Monday morning, about seeing them all walk through those doors as employees rather than family, about watching them learn, struggle, maybe even grow. I guess I'll find out if family is something you're born with, I said, or something you build. You're firing me? Dad's voice echoed through my office. 3 months into their employment, and here we were. Suspending, I corrected, keeping my voice level. For 2 weeks, without pay. Because I tried to change the warehouse system? Because you undermined your supervisor and ignored direct orders? I slid the incident report across my desk. 3 times. I was trying to help. He threw his hands up. That system is inefficient. In my business. Your business failed, I cut in sharply. This one hasn't. There's a reason for that. The silence that followed was heavy with decades of unspoken words. You're enjoying this, aren't you? He finally said. Watching us all struggle. Watching me fail. Actually, no. I stood up. Mom's already been promoted in customer service. Tyson's learning inventory management. Even Sabrina's starting to understand our financial systems. You're the only one fighting this. Because I'm the only one who sees what you're really doing. And what's that, Dad? Getting revenge, making us pay for not believing in you. I walked to the window, looking down at the warehouse where I could see Tyson efficiently directing a shipment. You think that's what this is about? Revenge? Isn't it? Come here, I said, gesturing to the window. Look down there. What do you see? He joined me reluctantly. The warehouse. So? I see Tyson leading a team. I see growth. I see someone who stopped fighting long enough to learn something new. I turned to face him. When was the last time you did that? Before he could answer, my office door burst open. Sabrina rushed in, waving a tablet. Shanice, the Mitchell account just doubled their order and... Oh. She stopped short, seeing Dad. Sorry, I didn't know. It's fine, I said. What about Mitchell? They want to expand to all their regional offices. It's $1 million contract. Dad's eyes widened. Million? Actually, Sabrina pulled up the figures, closer to 2 million. Their CFO was really impressed with the custom analytics package I suggested. I watched Dad's face as Sabrina confidently walked through the deal specifics. 3 months ago, she wouldn't have understood half these terms. Now she was helping land major accounts. That's impressive, Dad said quietly. It is, I agreed. Now, about your suspension. I'll take it, he interrupted. And maybe when I come back I could learn the system properly? After he left, Sabrina lingered. You're different here, she said. As a CEO, it's like you've been this person all along and we just never saw it. Maybe you never looked. My phone buzzed. Mom had sent a photo to the family group chat. She was posing with her Employee of the Month certificate. Tyson replied immediately. Nice one, Mom. Better than my first month when I sent that shipment to Alaska instead of Alabama. That mistake taught us to improve our address verification system, I typed back. Sometimes failures lead to better solutions. Speaking of solutions, Sabrina said, Mom wanted me to remind you about dinner tonight. She's cooking your favorite. I can't. I have plans with Prince. Cancel them. This is important. She hesitated. She's been practicing that pasta dish all week. You know, the one you loved as a kid? My phone buzzed again. Prince, go to dinner with your family. I'll see you tomorrow. Fine, I said, but no business talk. Later that evening, walking into my parents' house felt different. The dining room was filled with delicious smells, and Mom was actually humming as she cooked. Shanice, she hugged me, then immediately returned to stirring the sauce. Taste this. Does it need more basil? As I tasted the sauce, Dad walked in, still in his warehouse uniform. I hung up my badge, he said awkwardly, for the suspension. Good, I replied. See you in 2 weeks. But then I added, the warehouse supervisor mentioned they're developing a new inventory tracking system. Might be worth learning when you return. His face lit up slightly. Yeah? Tyson bounded in, carrying a cake. Look what Sabrina helped me bake. It only took 3 tries. And my entire kitchen, Sabrina added, following him. As we sat down to eat, something felt different. The usual tension was replaced with something else. Something almost like respect. "So," Mom said, passing the pasta, "no business talk tonight. But maybe you could tell us about Prince." I nearly choked on my water. "Mom!" "What? A mother can't be interested in her daughter's love life?" As my family laughed, with me, not at me, I realized something. Maybe revenge wasn't about making them pay. Maybe it was about making them see. And finally, they were beginning to look. "And that concludes our first annual company awards," I announced to the packed auditorium. "Thank you all for an incredible year." As people began filing out, I watched my family huddled together near the front. Mom clutched her Innovation in Customer Care trophy, beaming. Tyson and Sabrina were comparing their certificates, while Dad sat quietly, looking at his most improved plaque. Prince squeezed my hand. "Ready for the real announcement?" I nodded, stepping back to the microphone. "Actually, everyone, there's one more thing." The crowd settled back into their seats. As you know, when I started this company, I was just a dreamer with a point to prove. My eyes found my family. Some people thought I was wasting my time, that I needed to wake up and face reality. Mom looked down at her hands. Dad shifted uncomfortably. But dreams have a funny way of becoming reality when you refuse to give up. Today I'm announcing that Dreambox Enterprises is expanding internationally. We've secured partnerships in Europe and Asia, and we're opening 5 new regional offices. Applause erupted. I waited for it to die down. "And I'm proud to announce our new executive team." I pulled out a list. Heading our customer experience division, Adeline Rodriguez. Mom's trophy nearly fell from her hands. "Me? Your innovations in customer care have increased our satisfaction rates by 200%. You earned this, Mom." She started crying as she walked to the stage. Leading our logistics and distribution, Tyson Rodriguez. My brother's jaw dropped. "For real?" "You've revolutionized our shipping systems. That Alaska mistake led to our best tracking protocol yet." Director of Financial Operations, Sabrina Rodriguez. Sabrina gripped her chair. "But I'm just learning." "You've landed more major accounts than anyone else this quarter. You understand both numbers and people. We need that." Finally, I took a deep breath. "And for our new Director of Innovation and Systems Development, Emerson Rodriguez." Dad looked up sharply. "Your suspension taught you humility, but your experience taught us all something valuable. Sometimes the old ways and new ways need to meet in the middle. You figured out how to make that happen." As Dad joined us on stage, I felt tears threatening. This company was built on a dream of proving something, but somewhere along the way, it became about more than revenge or vindication. It became about family. Not just the one we're born with, but the one we build together. Prince stepped forward, taking the microphone. "And speaking of building things together," he turned to me, dropping to one knee. The audience gasped. My hand flew to my mouth. "Shanice, you taught me that dreams aren't just fantasies. They're blueprints for reality. Will you build your next dream with me? Will you marry me?" Through tears, I saw my family's faces. Mom nodding frantically, Dad actually smiling, Sabrina and Tyson giving thumbs up. "Yes," I whispered, then louder, "Yes!" As Prince slipped the ring on my finger, Dad stepped forward. "I need to say something," he said, taking the microphone. "A year ago, I thought my daughter was just a dreamer. I was wrong. She wasn't just dreaming. She was building, planning, working harder than I ever knew. She took a family that had lost its way and gave us not just jobs, but purpose, not just success, but understanding." Mom wiped her eyes. "We're so proud of you, honey. We should have been all along." Sabrina hugged me. "Thanks for not giving up on us, even when we gave up on you." "Group hug!" Tyson declared, pulling everyone in. As my family, my real, changed, healing family, surrounded me, I felt Prince's arms wrap around us all. Guy appeared at the edge of the stage, grinning. "Sorry to break up the moment, but the press is waiting for the expansion announcement." "Let them wait," I said, holding on to my family. "Some dreams take time to fully appreciate." Dad pulled back, straightening his tie. "Well, as your new Director of Innovation, I suggest we innovate this press conference, family style." What do you mean? I asked. Let's show them what Dreambox really is. Not just one dreamer's success story, but a family's journey from doubt to belief. Together. Looking at my family, really looking at them, I saw not the people who had dismissed my dreams, but the people who had learned to dream alongside me. Together, I agreed, taking Prince's hand and leading our family toward the press room. This wasn't an ending. It was a new beginning, and this time we were all wide awake for it.